We heard of the passing of former President George H.W. Bush on either Friday or Saturday. And as we were researching about his funeral, we realized that during his funeral procession, he would travel part of it by train. Andy asked me if I thought it would be a good idea to take the girls out of school for a couple of days and go see the train on the funeral procession. And as we were doing more research, we realized that the last time that a president had a train in his procession was with Dwight Eisenhower almost 50 years ago. We decided that we would go down, and Andy looked on a map and looked at the train route and decided on Magnolia, Texas. We met some of the council members there. They were handing flags out to visitors as they arrived. It was raining that morning, so we set chairs out by the tracks and then would get in the van as the rain got heavier and let the girls color and read books. There was a newspaper reporter there, and when she found out that we had driven from Arkansas to see the train, she asked if she could interview us. We, of course, said yes. The girls thought it was awesome to get to talk to the newspaper. Later that morning, a news reporter out of Dallas asked if he could interview our family. He interviewed Andy and I, and then both the girls. And then the cameraman let the girls see his camera, and he was showing them how it worked. Oh, look at that face. After that, we went into the Magnolia Depot. It actually is a museum, and the day we were there were people inside that could answer questions and were very knowledgeable about the history of Magnolia. This stop was great for the girls. There was plenty to see. They were allowed to touch things, and there was reading involved, but not too much that they got bored. When we walked into the back room, Andy and I both kind of paused as we noticed how beautiful the floors, ceiling, and barn doors were inside this room. When we asked about it, they said it had been used for years and years to store hay, and that's why it was preserved so well. The girls were hungry, so we went across the railroad tracks to the donut shop. After we finished, we noticed the traffic had started to really pick up. People were lining the sidewalks with their chairs. Several had flags and signs, and there were people of all ages there. There were younger couples and families, and also older people that were there as well. Everyone gathering together to pay their last respects to President Bush. Looking both directions down the tracks, people were lining up on all sides. The Union Pacific workers were telling us exactly where we could stand, and they were being very patient with us, even all of us wanting to be as close as we could. A news reporter asked if she could interview our family. They interviewed Leah, and she still talks about it today. We still had about an hour and a half before the train was supposed to come through. We met Commissioner Charlie Riley and lots of other people as it started getting really busy. It was past lunchtime, so we went to a restaurant to grab some lunch, and as you can see, it was extremely packed. We placed an order to go and still had to wait over an hour to get our food, which is quite understandable being the only restaurant close to the railroad tracks there. While we were waiting, we were watching the funeral on TV, and even after Leah saw this video, she said, "Mom, make sure you do the pictures. We saw it on the news," and then we got to see it in front of us, and it really does make an impact whenever you get to see it that way. As the time got closer and closer to when the train was supposed to arrive, we heard the train left College Station, and it's been through this town, and it's been through that town. And we knew that it was going to be going slow, so everyone had a moment to pay their respects, but we weren't really exactly sure when it would arrive. We all were getting really excited. The crowds were really coming in, and everyone was getting as close to the tracks as they could. After being there for 5 hours, the girls were finding anything they could do to keep themselves busy, even collecting rocks in their laps. First, we saw helicopters come through, and then we started seeing all kinds of drones, and we knew that the train was about to be there. We asked the girls to put all their rocks and everything down and to come up by the railroad tracks, that it was going to be really close to time. Even more drones came in, and then we caught the first glimpse of the train. This was one of the most memorable trips we've ever taken. To be a part of something so historic and to have the opportunity to pay respect to a man that gave his life not only in the military, but also as a president, it just really meant a lot to us. And we feel blessed that we were also able to bring Leah and Lily on this trip. We think that it really impacted their life and really showed them how we should be respectful of the leaders of our country. Please be sure to like and subscribe The Unpaved Path, and we'll see you out there.